Hi guys, welcome back. Today I thought I would do a compare and comparison video on two foundations that are quite similar, and now I own both of them, I kind of think that I don't need to own both. I would like either or, and I love both of them for kind of different reasons, but the same reasons, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be comparing them today because they claim to do a lot of similar things and they're very similar in a lot of ways, and then you guys can make a more informed decision about which one you may want to invest in, if any. So one of them's new, one of them has just literally come out, and it is the Nars Velvet Matte Skin Tint. I wanted to try this because the Nars Sheer Glow is the only base I've tried from Nars, and I was super excited to try this because it's like a velvet matte tint and it claims to do a lot of the things that I come to love in the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet. So I'm going to be comparing them today to tell you which one I would buy and for what reason, and just if there's a massive difference, because they do claim to do very similar things and to give you a very similar complexion and finish. So let's start with the newest. Nars, packaging gorgeous. It comes in this box, which is, you know, it's nice, but I'm not going to keep that. But I love the packaging. It's kind of like this sleek matte black tube with a brown Nars logo. Normally Nars logos are actually white, but I love the fact that this is tinted. I think it's a really nice play on the actual product. I like that a lot. And this is actually a 50ml, so you're getting 20 extra ml in this product. It is only a tinted moisturiser essentially, but I find that it gives me amazing coverage, and I would actually use this in place of a foundation. I wouldn't really need to conceal when using this. The coverage is amazingly decent, so you wouldn't actually need to have another product alongside this. This could actually replace your foundation if you got on with the texture, the lightness, the coverage and that kind of thing. I absolutely love it. So again, it's a 50ml. And it's meant to give you a velvet matte skin tint. It's nothing too dramatic, like it just looks like your skin. I'm wearing it today, and I am going to insert two pictures side by side of my skin before and after just here, so you guys can see the difference that it made. I am also going to do a video just focusing on this one so you can see application, so stay tuned for that if you want to see it. I've already actually done one for the Chanel. I'm going to link that down below in case you want to see application, what my skin looked like before and after. But yes, if you want to check this out in more detail after this video, check that one out. But the packaging is actually quite similar of them both. Yes, they're completely different sizes, but they have that really nice black packaging, very minimalist, very sleek. They both come in plastic bottles, which I like, and easy applicators, which again can cause a little bit of mess, but I actually love the packaging of both of these products, so that's great. This contains SPF 30 and the Chanel contains SPF 15. So the Nars actually has more SPF in it if that is an area that concerns you, that is something that you want to target, then this has more of an SPF. And what I love about this one is when you compare the coverage to the Chanel, it whoops its ass. Like seriously, the coverage of this is amazing for such a light texture. What really surprised me about this is just how light it was and how smooth and velvety. I kind of knew it was going to be velvety because of the name, but sometimes velvety can mean quite drying, and I have heard from a lot of other bloggers that they found it really drying and they found it to oxidize on the skin. I have not found that at all, and I have normal to combination skin, and this went on like an absolute dream. I applied it with a damp beauty blender, dotted it on, and it just looks flawless. I'm not wearing any concealer today. I just wanted you guys to see the base as it is. I'm wearing a little bit of contour just to warm my complexion up, but apart from that, everything on the base that you see is actually this product. What I love about it is it's just so light. The texture is like almost like a fluid, and you dot it onto the skin and it seeps in, but it gives you an amazing canvas. It just looks incredible. Like I can't say how impressed I am with it, and I'm even more impressed because I thought I was going to hate it. From what I've heard, I thought it's just going to be quite heavy because skin moisturisers, even though they can claim to be quite light, they can actually be quite heavy, and I just don't really get on with it. Like Laura Mercier, I find it way too heavy. I actually find it heavier than a foundation. But this, the texture, the application, the longevity of it, I absolutely love. I'm yet to actually find a downside to this product, and it's £30 for 50ml, which is an incredible price because it is a high-end product at the end of the day. If it was something that couldn't replace a foundation, I would say that's quite expensive for a tinted moisturiser, but because this has enough coverage to completely replace it and you're still getting the lightness and that lovely texture, this is worth that and more. I would have been happy to pay Chanel's price, which I think is £37, and you only get a 30ml. The coverage, this one absolutely wins. Packaging, I prefer the Chanel, but you know, that's just how it is, but I absolutely love this one. In terms of application, they both are very, very similar in their textures as well. They both feel very, very similar indeed. They're both very, very light. They both seep into the skin beautifully. I think that the main factors to consider when you're comparing which one to buy, because as I've said, these are going to be good rivals for each other because they claim to do very, very similar things, I think is the fact that this one has more SPF. This is 20ml bigger and this is £7 cheaper. So if you can get on with the Nars one, then you found a sure winner in this, and I think it's fantastic. If you don't want quite as much SPF, if you're taking a lot of photos, you don't want that white cast, and if you're a sucker for Chanel and the skincare benefits and that kind of thing, then I would check this out. The only thing I would say is the Chanel lasts that little bit longer in terms of it looks as flawless when you take it off. I would say the Nars stays true for about 8 to 10 hours, and then your natural sort of complexion will seep through slightly, but not to the point where I would need to reapply. Like, it still looks really glowy and natural, but it doesn't last quite as long. This one stays true to the very end, and you will remove it and you will remove what you've basically applied, whereas this one, it will have diminished slightly. If I had to absolutely choose between the two, you may be surprised to learn, I'd actually go for the Nars for the simple reason that you get 20ml more, it's £7 cheaper, the coverage is amazing, and it's basically, you just wouldn't need a concealer. If you have light blemishes, you have nothing too much going on, I have redness around my nose and that type of thing, and this covers it beautifully. The shade range of this is fantastic, the lightness of it is beautiful, and it's just a dream to apply. It just feels beautiful. I do love the Chanel, but when that is on the market, I would find it hard to keep justifying buying this, and I love this foundation, so it's super surprising. But yeah, they're very, very, very similar, so if you like them both, then obviously the Nars is a lot nicer on the pocket, and you're getting better coverage, and the lightness is pretty much exactly the same. The only reason I would opt for the Chanel is if I wanted a bit of a treat, because you have the skincare benefits in here as well, or if I wanted it to last a full day, like I didn't want to worry about it for the rest of the day, I didn't want to have to top it up, then I would go for this. But if you don't mind carrying a concealer with you, or if you're not bothered and 8 to 10 hours is perfect for you, then the Nars is definitely the way to go. So guys, I hope you found this review and comparison helpful. I definitely am super impressed by the Nars. I'm actually going to be doing a blog post on it, which should be live, I would have thought, by now. If it is, I'll link it down below. And thank you so much for watching. Pop any questions or comments you have down in the info bar. Also, if you've tried any of these, let me know how you're getting on with it, because like I said, I've only ever heard negative reviews on this so far, and it's really shocked me because I absolutely love it, and I'm quite tough when it comes to foundations. I try a lot of them, as you guys know, so I can be quite critical. I think that if you wanted to try this but you couldn't quite stretch to it, or the reason that you didn't want to go for it was the coverage, then please check this out and let me know what you think. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed it, and also don't forget to click on the notification updates. That way you'll get notified every time we upload a video so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!